I don't know what I would have done without you." My stomach dropped. Immediately, my mind went somewhere dark. Who sends messages like that? At midnight? To a married woman? I picked up the phone. The screen locked before I could read more. For the first time in 13 years, I genuinely wondered if my wife was having an affair. I barely slept that night. After that, everything looked suspicious. Every late night, every phone notification, every unexplained absence. I started noticing details I'd previously ignored. She seemed distracted during dinner, sometimes emotional for no obvious reason. Sometimes she'd sit quietly and stare into space. I convinced myself these were signs, evidence, proof. The truth is, once suspicion enters your mind, everything starts looking guilty. I didn't realize that at the time. I thought I was being observant. In reality, I was building a story with incomplete information, and the more I watched, the more convinced I became. One evening, I made a decision I'm not proud of. I followed her. She left work around 6. Instead of driving home, she went somewhere else. My heart was pounding. I stayed several cars behind, trying not to be noticed. Eventually, she parked near a small building on the edge of town. It wasn't a restaurant. It wasn't a hotel. It wasn't another office. It was a medical facility. I sat there confused. Then I watched her enter and remain inside for nearly 3 hours. When she finally left, she looked emotionally drained. Not happy, not excited, just exhausted. The affair theory suddenly seemed less certain, but I still didn't know the truth. A few weeks later, everything exploded. Emily missed our anniversary dinner. Not by an hour, by 4 hours. I sat alone in the restaurant, watching couples celebrate around me. Embarrassed, angry, hurt. When she finally arrived home, I lost my temper. Years of frustration came pouring out. The late nights, the distance, the secrecy, the phone, the messages, everything. For the first time in our marriage, I directly asked, "Is there someone else?" The look on her face is something I'll never forget. She looked shocked, then hurt, then devastated. And for several seconds, she couldn't speak. Then Emily started crying, not defensive crying, not guilty crying, heartbroken crying, the kind of crying that comes from carrying something heavy for too long. Eventually, she walked into the bedroom, returned with a folder, and placed it on the table. Inside were medical records, bills, appointment schedules, treatment plans. I stared at them confused. Then I saw a familiar name, my mother's. Suddenly, nothing made sense. My mother had been dealing with health issues, but she'd always claimed everything was under control. Apparently it wasn't, not even close. Over the previous year, my mother's condition had become much worse, far worse than she'd admitted.